All right, everybody, welcome to this week's PDH deck building extravaganza. Something a little different. It's a recorded video, something edited, something published to YouTube, not streamed live initially, but gifted unto you after the fact due to the holiday. One of the biggest requests that I've gotten recently is to look into Selesnya a little bit, green and white. So I kind of picked one of the more Selesnya commanders that is available to us, World Soul Colossus. Green, white X, 0/0, enters with X1 counters on it and has Convoke. So I picked this one for a couple reasons. I think it gets to the heart of a lot of what makes green and white tick. And kind of emphasizes the importance of having a robust creature base. Not only that, but being able to utilize bodies in other ways outside of combat, which is like a big part of the format. Just being able to scrape every bit of value from your creatures as you can. When we're talking about Selesnya, a lot of the ways that you kind of maintain parity with cards is through effects on a basic level, like let's pull up here. Elvish Visionary. It's an see, I want to autocomplete because I searched for this card a lot. Just a creature, simple ETB draw card. Creatures like this are kind of bread and butter Selesnya fare. There's not a lot of spells that will cause us to go up on cards. Green has some cantrips, things like oh goodness, what is the name of the card? Commune with nature. Look at the top 5, pick a creature, Rescue on the bottom. Those sorts of cards. These generate a body and also replace themselves. And they also play into green's primary ways to generate card, like raw card advantage, like Lead the Stampede, you meet in a tavern, and a Winding Way, like the 3 big ones. White does not really have those tools. They rely on a lot more of this sort of thing. Creatures with like ETB draw card, that sort of thing. So the problem with relying on these creatures is that they suck in combat. Like this is just a 1/1 for 2, like 2/2s for 3, a lot of 1/1, like 1/1 for 3. There's a lot of like really bad stat lines that go along with these creatures. However, a card like World Soul Colossus lets us kind of use them in other ways. So we can kind of keep churning through our deck with these kind of mopey creatures, use it to power a big World Soul Colossus, and then do other things with Convoke. Convoke is a really great mechanic. I think that it is often underexplored or underutilized from what I've seen. I'm a huge fan of it. I try and use it as much as I can because they're just very efficient spells. The tempo that you gain from double spelling is really, really valuable a lot of the time, and like Convoke is a really good way for you to do that because you can use your creatures to cast your spells. Gives you a lot of access to mana or additional like resources in that way. So we're gonna look at World Soul Colossus here. Pretty basic template, but like a really cool one that lets us do a lot of cool Selesnya things. So we're gonna just dive right in. We're gonna get all of these little guys. Draw a card. There's a lot of creatures that do this. And we're just gonna pile as many of them in. Whoop, hello. We're gonna search for creatures specifically here. I'm not interested in spells that cantrip. I would rather have creatures that cantrip because they play into Lead the Stampede. That's the biggest reason why. And Lead the Stampede is busted. We're gonna sort these by mana value. All right, so we're gonna start at the bottom here. So Elvish Visionary is my favorite card ever. Feral Prelates dies draw card. Heart Warden is great. So Heart Warden's a little bit different. This one actually taps for mana, but you can sacrifice a draw card. This card's like good in a lot of places too. It's kind of like outside the template that we're looking for, but I want to cut and throw it in because I like it. Helpful Hunter is a new one with Foundations. Kind of the cat counterpart to the dog from Kamigawa. Tony's Acolyte is like last on my list just because it's Echo, so it's a little less mana efficient, but a good card nonetheless. We're going to come back to that one if we need to fill a slot. Spirited Companion is the dog we were talking about. Spirited Companion. And there's other templates too that let us draw cards. Chronicle of Heroes is cool because if we control a creature with a 1/1 counter, it'll cantrip, and our commander does that. So it's not as good because we need to set it up first, but it's got a better stat line and it'll draw some cards. So this is like another honorable mention along with Tony's Acolyte. Errant Rider of Gondor is draw one, put one on the bottom because you don't have any legends. Deepwood Denizen ends up paying off for us because we're going to put a lot of counters on stuff. And this one has an ability that is kind of reduced cost for each 1/1 counter on creatures we have. It just draws cards. I mean, it's vigilance too, so we can attack with it and convoke stuff or draw a card with it. Farsight Adept I actually really like. So in casual games, these sorts of effects I'm a big fan of. Being able to single out people and say, hey, you're here, you get a thing, plays into like the political aspect of the game, like the social part of the game. I think it's cool to build that into the deck. So we're going to do that one. Generous Stray. Again, like if you look at the rates on a lot of these creatures, Farsight Adept is a kind of an outlier, 3/3 for 3, just because it has a drawback. Generous Stray, a 3-mana 1/2. These cards are not impressive. Howling Golem will probably end up playing. Sir, Inspiring Overseer is actually like one of the few that are like good and like outside of just like using them for other things. It's a 2/1 flyer, so it's like a Windrake that draws you a card and gains you life. It's pretty good. Llanowar Visionary is another one because it is a mana dork that gives you a card, which is awesome. I might even go into Pike Knight just because I like that card. Priest of Forgotten Lore. The problem with a lot of these cards is that once you get up to these, the mana values just get a little bit high. Like once you get to like 3 or 4 mana. Priest of Ancient Lore. I've forgotten what am I talking about. Roving Harper. For all you elf Kindred fans out there, Roving Harper is an elf. It's a white elf. You don't see many of those, but it's something worth noting. Sport Crawler, Sky Scanner. Hell yes, Sky Scanner. Sky Scanner is like a good all-purpose card. It goes in a lot of decks. Just colorless, 1/1 flyer for 3 that draws you a card. You know, let's go up to 4. Like, these stat lines are a little bit better. They can tangle a little bit. Kind of like it. Yeah, let's do Jiraga Visionary, Rock's Meditant. This is like a bread and butter template that we want. Jiraga Visionary. If we need to cut some of the higher CMC ones, we will. But for now, I think I want to just get them all in there. Searle's Packmate. If you ever thought to yourself, how I wonder why they don't make a better Hill Giant. Well, they have, and it's Searle's Packmate, 3/3 ETB, draw a card for 4. Search Party Captain. This one I like. It has a cost reduction whenever you attack with creatures. So we're going to put that one in there. And then probably one of the worst is Shaman of Spring, 4 mana, 2/2, just like Striped Bears. Shaman of Spring. But like, you got to keep in mind, like, these things are good for like chump blocking and stuff, but they're also good for just like providing a body to convoke with. They sit on the battlefield, they replace themselves, so it's never really that bad. As long as we're taking advantage of these bodies in other ways, then, you know, it's cool. Probably won't go up to like the 5 mana ones. I don't really care so much about that because we're gonna start like wanting to convoke stuff. Ooh, Saval's Enforcer, that's a good one. This one is it parlays and lets everybody draw a card. So parlay is a mechanic that I like quite a bit. You don't see it a lot on commons, but you know, each player reveals a card of library. For each non-land card, a thing happens basically, and then everyone draws that card. So for this one, it gets a 1/1 counter for each non-land card that's revealed, so it can get up to a 6/6, and then each player draws that card. So it replaces itself. You give other players some cards. People like that stuff. You know, it plays well. Plays really well. All right, so yeah, let's Pike Knight with the delayed trigger is less appealing. Yeah, I don't think we need to bend over backwards for anything else right now. If we need to fill in a gap, we can fill in a gap. All right, so next thing we're going to do is, what are we doing with all these stupid mopey bodies? Well, we're going to convoke them. So let's look at our convoke cards. There's some that I like and some that I don't. There's actually quite a few because this mechanic has been in several sets. We're going to start with Conclave Equinaut, just a 3/3 flyer for 6. If you thought to yourself, boy, that's an expensive price tag for a flyer. oftentimes, I mean, realistically, we'll be paying 3 mana, tapping 3 creatures for this, which is good. You know, it's not so bad. Conclave Phalanx is a card that I've gotten a lot of mileage out of. I play this card in a lot of decks. Just gains a life for each creature you control. You already are playing a ton of creatures. You're convoking to convoke this out. It's got a respectable body, gains you a lot of life. This is a pretty swingy card, but I like it a lot. Cut Short is a good removal spell, destroys a planeswalker that was activated or a tapped creature. Planeswalker part doesn't really matter, although it will for Rule Break month coming up January 2025. Keep that in mind. Or destroys a tapped creature, that's what we care about. So it'll get in the way of something that's swinging in on you. Cuts. Well, hello. Cut short. All one word. Ephemeral Shield's a protection spell because the thing indestructible can convoke that. See, there's just like tons of good stuff here. And, you know, the thing about it is with the reduced card pool of Pauper Commander, the redundancy, and when I say redundancy, I mean like the volume of like convoke spells, really just lets you build like a straightforward deck that just cares about convoking. You don't have to go in any other direction with it. You just play all these convoke spells and they're all sweet. They all are functional. They all play well. Guardian of Vitu-Ghazi, just a huge guy, 4/7 vigilance. Yeah, absolutely. I'll search for Vitu-Ghazi. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Vitu. I can never remember what part of the word the H goes in. Guardian of Vitu-Ghazi. There you go. We're going to throw in some other stuff too. I know there's other like utility creatures that we forgot, but I just wanted to get the raw draw card things. And then we'll scale back the ones that we don't want. Kavu Primarch is awesome. Like just a hill giant that convokes and has kicker. This was an old like time spiral card, like from that block where they kind of mishmash a lot of keywords together. Kicker and convoke are really cool. They play really well together. And we can make like a 7/7. This thing gets huge. It's good to have like other threats. And the important thing is that like we'll probably throw in some cards to like give creatures trample with 1/1 counters or whatever, and this will get 1/1 counters if we kick it, so we'll get a little mileage there. Lieu of Guardian, Living Totem, just like Lieu of Guardian is one that I think is really interesting because it's pretty cheap. It's just a 4 mana 2/4 that convokes. So oftentimes, you know, 2 mana 2/4. The rate on that's good enough that I like it, especially if we're like devoting ourselves into this. Living Totem. Living Totem's another one I love. It's a 4 mana 2/3 with convoke. When it enters, it puts a counter on something. See, these are just like a lot of them are just very appealing designs, just very simple. That's the key. I feel like I've repeated myself a lot about this, but these cards just play very well. They play a lot better than they read. Lockdown Restorer just gains 4 life on kind of a juicy body. And then we've got Martyr Soul. This is like this one. This is a Modern Masters card. 3/2 for 3 with convoke. When Martyr Soul enters the battlefield, if you control no tapped lands, put 2/1 counters on. So basically, what this parses out to is if you convoke an entire mana cost, it enters as a 5/4. That's huge. Martyr's Soul. I like that card. Pax Favors, Pump Spell. We'll play Pause for Reflection. It's a fog. Pause for Reflection. Rosemane Centaur is a house. So this is like probably one of the most powerful common convoke creatures. 5 mana 4 for vigilance. Again, like the vigilance is a beating, and something this huge is absolutely sick. Siege Worm is a classic. 7 mana 5/5 convoke. Siege Worm. So we've got 28 creatures. We've got a long way to go. So we're gonna have a huge creature count. Sprouting Renewal is awesome because it makes us a creature, or we can destroy an artifact or enchantment. It's a sorcery, but it's the dopeness of this card I think goes a long way to shoring up that deficiency if you view it as such. I do not, but we're going to skip Sprout Swarm. The reason I'm going to skip Sprout Swarm, and a lot of you may be saying at home, this is the ultimate convoke card, is because this card's kind of miserable. I mean, once you cast Sprout Swarm once, it kind of just becomes the best thing to be doing. And I don't like that. This card's very, very one note. And I'd rather play with real cards that do cool things than this card that just warps the game around it. Sundering Vitae. Yeah, this card's sweet too. Just a 3 mana convoke, disenchant. Kind of like Sprouting Renewal, except it's an instant. This card's like good in a lot of different shells, not just this one. It's probably, I think this card's like pretty underplayed. It's really good. And then we've got my main man, Triplicate Spirits. Triplicate Spirits. Triplicate Spirits is really powerful. 6 mana convoke, gets 3/1/1 white flying creatures, spirits. It's very, very, very good. Willforged Golem. Do we care about Willforged Golem? You know what we should do? I forgot Halo Hopper too. We'll put both those. Halo Hopper, Willforged. Okay. So we got 31 creatures. Some stuff here. What do we have as far as like interaction? We got like 1 protection spell, a removal spell, 2 removal spells. Let's just get like some good interactive stuff. We'll get a Thraben Charm. We'll play let's go back to the creatures. I'll come back to this because I want to get Novice and Novice Inspector. I want to get Thraben Inspector. Let's look at some green and white creatures, just some basic ones. Oh, I didn't put the creature filter. And we'll just look for some cheapos, like some low mana value things that generate some value, because that's going to really just set the foundation for what we're doing. And I think that's an important part of it. We don't need mana dorks, importantly, because a lot of what we're doing is just like using Convoke to power out stuff. So we can circumvent that. Caustic Caterpillar. Yeah, that's good. It's like a good rattlesnake sits on the board. We can get it off of our primary draw spells. You meet in Winding Way and lead the stamp. Alright. So yeah, these, you look at the top 5, you reveal any number of creatures, put them into your hand. You meet in the tavern, and Winding Way works similarly. Winding Way only lets you look at 4 cards, but it's a 2 mana value spell rather than 4 or 3. You meet in the tavern is the most expensive, but it also lets you like give yourself a pseudo kind of like overrunning kind of effect, giving all of our little guys +2/+2 to like swing in. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut the Heart Warden for now. Just want to kind of keep things kind of devoted to what we're doing and not branch off. I'm trying to preserve as much space as possible. We have 44 cards. Let's get some lands in here just to get that part out of the way. It'll give me a better idea of where we're sitting. Plains. This is going to be a 35 lander. So let's do 16 of these. We'll do 17 of these. 35 lands. Yeah, that should be good. Our curve, like, for the things that matter is going to be pretty small. All of our expensive stuff, like, pretty much has Convoke. And since we're convoking a bunch of stuff, let me think. So just kind of scrolling through. Elvish Hex Hunter's good. Skysweeper's good. You know what we're gonna do? I have a good idea. We're gonna look for things that want to convoke stuff. These are some of my favorite creatures in the game. If any of you have seen me play or played against me, I have an affinity for cards that tap to do a thing when you tap them. I really just like tapping and untapping my creatures, and these are cards that I've played a million bajillion times, and I love all of them equally, even Judge of Currents. So we're gonna play all of these. Worst case scenario, they attack and you do it. Attentive Sunscribe, Urskos, Sun Guide, Judge of Currents. I'll bring up Judge of Currents in a second to talk about that one, because I might raise an eyebrow. Salmon Herbalist. Scare Tiller, yeah. Scare Tiller, and then Stony Brook. It's the most powerful by a huge margin. Furious Band Trumper, don't really care about. It's just a beater that we have to hardcast, and I don't really care about that. I'd rather do something like Scare Tiller. So anyway, Church of Currents, whenever a Merfolk you control becomes tapped, you gain a life. This is a card where you might be thinking to yourself, like, oh, we have no merfolk, why would we play this? The floor on the card is that whenever it becomes tapped, you gain a life, which is, like, fine enough for what we're doing, because we're going to be using it to do a lot of stuff, tapping-wise. Cinderbush Schoolmaster just makes it better, like, this kind of has synergy with this. This makes more merfolk. We can use more merfolk to convoke more things. Cinderbush Schoolmaster is a card that it's very easy to like combo with in EDH. In this format, it just generates a lot of value. There's a lot of really great ways to take advantage of this card. So I want to play all of those. We got 39 creatures. That's, not enough. We need more. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Samala Woodshaper. We're going to play... I can't remember the name of the card, but I'll find it. Samala Woodshaper, for those of you who don't know. 4-mana 2/1. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a creature or enchantment, put it in your hand. So it replaces itself. Oh, Militia Bugler, that's the card. Militia Bugler. This is a great card. 2/3 Vigilance for 2. Look at the top 4, reveal a creature card of power 2 or less, so it finds us a lot of our little guys, and you put it in your hand. These cards are great. Let's see. Enters. Look. Let's see. Oh, you know what we need? We need a Sylvan Ranger. We need a Wood Elves. We need a Farhaven Elf. These cards just ramp us like a ton. We need a Springbloom Druid. Basically, the template that we're going for here is when it enters your choice for a land, put on the battlefield. So it gets you a land, and you can use this to tap to do whatever you want. We're already at 91 cards. Well, I guess we have 45 creatures. So let's get like some. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go 30 longbow. Ways to like take advantage of our creatures, like to tap them for other things. Maybe not. I don't really care about that. Let's get some more removal. So we got Thorabrid Charm. We've got Cut Short. Hobbit Sting is another one. This is just a card that deals damage. It scales the number of creatures you control. We have a lot of them. And also Charge of the Mites. Has the same kind of effect. Costs 3 mana, but it's modal, so we can put 2 1/1 Phyrexian Mite creature tokens in the battlefield instead. They're colorless, so they can only convoke for colorless, but still good. Okay, so let's start trimming things a little bit here. So it gives us what, 1, 2, 3, like 4 hard removal spells, which is not bad. And the removal spells that like care about the thing that our deck is doing, which I like a lot. None of it's just like unconditional, like basically, point and click, your thing's dead. We actually need to like set up our removal spells, and I think that's a good place to be. Cut Short is the only exception, but it's a little expensive, and we can invoke it. Same thing with like Sundering Vitae and Sprouting Renewal. We've got Cosmic Caterpillar in here. We could probably get. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Eldritch Rejuvenator. I'll play Rejuvenator. Why not? So we've got all these things. How many convoking things do we have got? 1, 2. Oh boy. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got some here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, so we got like 18 convoke spells. That's pretty good for these, I think. Let me think. I do like the idea of Viridian Longbow, but in some decks like this, I'd play things like Jasper Sentinel or Springleaf Drum or things like that. That might be good because that lets us use these. Also lets us use our other things too. Let's go back to the convoke spells. Did I leave anything out? I'm pretty sure I did, but let's. I'll make sure I didn't leave out anything else that I like. Can play Scatter the Seeds, I guess. Yeah, I'll play Scatter the Seeds. You know what we'll do is do this. Okay, Adaptive Gem Guard, there we go. We're definitely going to have to cut down a little bit. Cut the Caterpillar. Field Surgeon, yeah, these are good ones. Field Surgeon, finding other ways to use our creatures. That's what I don't want to be like in a position where we have a board full of idiots and nothing to do with them. Adaptive Gem Guard, you tap 2 artifacts and/or creatures to put a 1/1 counter on it. Field Surgeon, tap a creature to prevent the next damage that the creature would take. This card is like absolutely insane. Oh, let's play Gnarly, Dusk Shell Crawler, and Pride Malkin. I like these ones. I don't want to play all of these cards that do this. You know, creature with 1/1 counter as trample or whatever. I like these ones because they give a creature a 1/1 counter when they enter. I'm not looking to run all of them, but if I'm going to run any of them, like these are the ones that I want because I want the ability to give something trample if it doesn't otherwise have it. There's Jasper Sentinel, Loam Triad. I like these cards a lot, but we're not playing them. Oh, we can play... Selesnya Evangel is a good one. Yeah, we'll play Evangel and Prismatic Strands. Selesnya Evangel taps itself and another creature to make a Sapperling token, and then Prismatic Strands is just a... Do I already have the Pause for Reflection? Maybe we don't play Prismatic Strands. Maybe instead we find a really cool card that does something. Enters, reveal. Let's see. Another thing like Militia Bugler that just like reveals some cards. We get to keep one. Manor Empath is pretty good. Scry 2, reveal the top card. If it's a creature, you draw it. I like that card. Played in a lot of decks. Yeah, let's play Manor Empath. Why not? I feel like this deck might be a little bit slow. But what we'll do, I have a plan for that. If it ends up needing more juice, what we'll end up doing is cut some of the higher mana value stuff like Shaman of Spring, Llanowar Empath that I just added. We'll add in things like where is it? You know, oh, but maybe it's not on this page, but like Loam Dryad and Jasper Sentinel, all that kind of stuff. So let's just take it for a quick spin. Oh, hello. Okay, this hand is good. So we got some lands and spells. That's all we care about. We've got a couple things that replace themselves, the Wood Elves, and like a decent payoff here. So we will draw for turn. That card is insane. And I say insane. When I say a card's insane, I mean it. Alright, now I'm the Spectre. We're going to make a clue. Boom, we're just going to put that over here. We'll cash that in later. Next turn, we've got 2 mana. What we'll do is we'll just hold it up, cash in this clue, draw a card. Next turn, we'll play this. We'll cast our Wood Elves as well. No, we'll cast our Visionary, so we can tap it for mana. I guess it doesn't matter because we're going to be probably... No, what else? We want to get that land. That's what I want. View Library, Forest card on the battlefield untapped. So we pay this, this. Goes to shuffle. Got some idiots. It's turn 3. And untap turn 4. And that's good. So let's cast this Visionary. Draw a card. And let's cast the Sun Guide. Perfect. And now we're set up for next turn to cast their Soul. And maybe this Stony Brook. Yeah, we've got tons of mana. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Cast this. It comes in 2 counters. We got... Cast both of these. This. Sacrifice a land, get 2 lands. Forest, Plains. So we'll tap all our mana this turn. So this is the end of turn 5 right now. And we're kind of out of cards, but we haven't even catch our commander yet, and we can make it huge. And that's just another card that we can cast. Okay, and now we untap, gain 2 life, and then we cast our Colossus. So we're going to tap this. We're going to leave this untapped to attack with, but I'm going to tap this, make a Merfolk Wizard. Since we're convoking, we can't use this to convoke as well, but that's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's make it 11, 11. So you have an 11. This is our end of turn 6. This is our board. Seems decent. I'm gonna draw more lands. Maybe we can cut a land because we're doing a lot of stuff like this. I kind of want to make it a little bit faster. So yeah, let's cut some of these dum-dums. Like the 4 mana value guys, I don't really do a whole lot. We'll keep, I think we'll keep the Land of War Empath because that scries us too, and I think that's really good. But let's cut like Rocks Meditant, Shaman Spring. Let's order this. Or rather, let's look at the visual spoiler. I like to do this. Okay. Cut the Jiraga Visionary. So that gives us 3 slots. So that gives us Cerulean Caretaker, Jasper Sentinel. So I want one more for shit, what's the name of the card? Springleaf Drum. So I need one more card to go. Strike Bears. Alright, and we'll put in a Loam Dryad. I might even end up switching back, but Jasper Sentinel, Cerulean Caretaker, and Springleaf Drum. I could probably even end up cutting some lands, but let's try this. Probably 50 creatures. So like we're gonna have a lot of hits of like Leave the Stampede anyway, you mean a Tavern. And my Heritage Druid deck, like it can go for 4 for 5, 5 for 5. That's optimal. But this deck, like a deck like this, you'll probably hit half, like at least, you know, average 2.5, 3 cards for each of those. So this is an interesting one because we have no green mana, but we can foretell this. We can play a couple things. This is fine. I'm comfortable keeping this hand. Draw another, you know, planes isn't so bad. So turn 1, we'll do that. Up turn 2, couldn't have drawn up any better because now we get to play our Sylvan Ranger. Actually, we don't really need to do that right now. Let's foretell this card, and then we'll play that. We'll cast our Sylvan Ranger. Search our library for a forest. Put it into our hand. And like, yeah, I mean it's not the fastest start, but we got a lot of stuff to set up here. Gonna do this, and now we can do a couple things. So we can do this, cast our Field Surgeon, do this, cast our Packmate. We can hold this up, which I like quite a bit. This enters, we'll draw a card. Okay, so now we can cast this. If we just want to destroy something, we have access to that. See what I mean by like the tempo of this? You know, at the end of turn 4, we can have this board, and we can also we cast 3 spells this turn, 1, 2, and then like 3 if we want. Let's say for sake of argument, we'll hold them, and now we've got this. Let's cast the Sky Scanner. Let's just keep deploying our little dummies. We're not in a rush, right? We can cast 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can cast both of these right now. Let's just cash this in for a soldier or a knight or whatever it is. Elf Knight token. And now we can scatter the seeds. Let's just scatter the seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hypothetically, or 4, 5. Like that. Or like that. And now we'll add 3 saplings. There we go. And now we're going to tap turn 6. We're hitting all our land drops, which is great. Got a nice little staggered kind of alternating pattern here, which is cute. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can make it 12, 12 if we want. Don't see any reason not to. Just make it 12, 12. Boom, 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 boom. 12, 12. Whoops. 12, 12. It's pretty good. So let's add a couple things that I forgot about. We definitely always to protect our creatures. I did not add any ways to do that yet. We're gonna need at least one. Let's cut some things that we may or may not need. Probably don't need Selesnya Evangel, it's cute, but probably don't need it. Really, I just want to play Gideon's Sacrifice. This is like one of the better ones. It just redirects. It's a fog and it saves our board. I talked about this card. I think it was maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. Basically, you just choose a creature you control, and then all damage that be dealt to you this turn is dealt to that creature, and all damage dealt to permanents you control is dealt to that creature. So, you know, someone alpha strikes you, Gideon's Sacrifice redirects it all to a creature. Someone Breath Weapons us, it redirects it all to a creature. This type of card is quite good. Temple is under attack is another one that I'll probably end up playing just because I like the card draw and it gives our things indestructible, which is going to be a big game because we're go wide deck. A lot of our advantage is drawn from going wide. So let's cut Scare Tiller because we'll probably, well, I'll just cut a land. We've had, our mana's been fine, so we can probably try and cut land, see what happens. 34 lands. Okay, let's try it again. I'm not looking. All right, play testing. This hand is quite good. This hand gets us off to the races, I think. All right, you're gonna draw. That's even better. We don't need to start with this. I want to get this Dryad online, so we're gonna start with him. This Cerulean Caretaker and Jasper Sentinel, all of this templating. Tap an untapped creature you control, add a mana of any color. So it's pretty solid. Lets us tap our creatures. They have like good defensive stats. Like they're all 1/2s for 1. Cerulean Caretaker's a 0/3. Jasper Sentinel has reach. These cards are good and I like them a lot. Next turn. That's good. So we're gonna play this Plains. Good player's Novice Inspector, and then watch this. Boom, boom. Let me make a clue. Whoops. So stick that over here. Add a mana, foretell this. Watch this. I can put this face down, right? Face, flip, there we go. Nobody knows what it is, not even I do. Could be anything. And then turn 3, look at this sick board we have. We've got some Convoke stuff, we've got some other things. Now watch, what we can start doing here is with the Attentive Sunscribe, whenever this creature becomes tapped, we scry. So now we can just start like using mana here. So like for example, we tap, we scry 1, we'll put this on the bottom. Tap this Sacrificial Clue, and we'll draw a card. Roseman Centaur is good. And then what we'll do is use that mana. Oh, no. What I meant to do. Sorry, where's my clue token? I meant to reveal this. Whoops. I got ahead of myself. We're going to flip this guy back over. We're going to cast that, and then we're going to draw the Roseman Centaur. That's what we're going to do. So turn 3, we've got a pretty sick board. And we're going to tap in and get a Thraben Charm. So now, for those of you playing at home, we can convoke out a Siege Worm. We can cast our Wood Shapers. We can cast any of these except for the Guardian. We're one off from the Guardian, but like that's well within reach. So like you look at just playing these idiot dum-dums, we can cast like a threat, some card selection, or just like kill something. Like Convoke is awesome, and Bant is like the optimal place for it in my opinion because you get Larder Zombie, which is one of my favorite cards ever printed. 1 mana, 1/3 defender, tap 3 untap creatures, surveil 1. But as far as Selesnya goes, there's no shortage of good options here. Like you can just see like turn 4, let's just play this. Let's just convoke this out. I don't see why not, right? And then we get a scry out of it too. Yes, this one's going to be on top. So now what happens is we're going to do this. We're going to... Sylvanier's going to pay for itself, because watch this. We tap 2 mana to cast it. We cast it. We get a Forest. Put it into our hand. Oh, hello. Play the Forest. And now we have 2 more mana towards convoking something, so we can just convoke this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And we'll scry again. We'll put that on the bottom. Alright, now we have another convoke spell. So you see just how by having like these idiots we can just power this stuff out. And it's only turn 6 and we've got a really good board. We can play a lot of cards this turn. So we've got access to what? 9? 5? You know, we can play both of these if we want. Or we can just, let's do this instead. Let's cast the Wood Shapers and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just get the big convoke creature. Nah, I want the Visionary. I've decided. Put else on bottom. So Shift L. Shift L. So now we have this, and now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have to tap our big guy, and we can just cast the Roastmate Centaur. And we'll scry 1. Conclave Phalanx. So now what happens is we untap on turn 7. We have the Conclave Phalanx. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to gain 10 life off this card. Or we haven't even cast our big giant man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we can even do first is like attack with this, because they have vigilance, and then we can convoke it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got another 11 here. Yeah, and then we untap. So we've got our utility guys, and we've just got like these 4 huge threats. But I mean, not huge threats, right? Like a 4/4 vigilance is not like a game-winning card, but this thing will mess people up, especially when we back it up with something like 3-Event Charm or just like other things. You know, field searching, yeah, like that just makes it silly. There's other ways that you can like mess with things like this. Like there's ways like Vitalize and Mobilize 1-mana spells. Let's see, I'll show you. Vitalize, untap all creatures you control. So you can like get double duty off your stuff. So I can invoke a bunch of stuff out at once. I don't think we really need these cards, but if that's a route you can go. There's not many cards that untap all your creatures. Let's see, untap creatures. Whoops. I don't want rares. Gross. Let's see. Dryad's Caress is another one. This one's expensive, but it gains you a lot of life. Gain life for each creature in play, and then if you pay a white, it untaps all your creatures. There's ways like to build a deck like this. Gleam of Resistance untaps all your creatures. Mobilize is really only printed in Portal, like Mystery Booster 2. This is an expensive one. It's like $10 maybe. Yeah, $10. I guess it was on the list, so that's cheaper, but it's still a few dollars for this card. You know, Village Bell Ringer. There's ways to untap all your creatures, but for it, I don't think we need to be doing that necessarily, because Convoke, like, it's not something where you can, you know, start paying and then untap your creatures and then keep contributing to the Convoke. You kind of have to do it while you're casting the spell in one fell swoop. So you get a little less mileage out of it that way, but if you're looking to like turbo out a bunch of stuff, like in that last game, if we convoked out like Siege Worm and then we untap all our creatures and we can convoke out Guardian, I don't think it's necessary in a deck like this. If you want to push it, you can definitely explore stuff like that, but I don't think it's necessary. It's really cool to do, and it's a lot of fun to do. You know, I've done it in decks like this that play blue spells. Yeah, you get access to like Dramatic Reversal as well, and it's fun, but it's not necessary. Let's take it for another spin. We got some time. We're 43, 44 minutes in. Kind of get an idea if we're missing anything. What I want to do is I want to find a hand with like one of these, like Leave the Stampede or When Anyway You Meet a Tavern. So let's just deal another hand until we get like a playable one that has that card, and I just want to see like how we utilize it. Our creature count's definitely high, and we're definitely gonna get cards off of it. I need that dopamine hit though, you know. Oh, should I just scroll past one here? Yeah, no, not playable. This is also kind of not playable, but you know what, we're gonna do it. A lot of land, but we have this to refuel. We've got this card, which is good too. So Let's try it. All right, it's not a bad start. It's really caretaker. We can't really use it with anything yet, but it's a creature and it gets on the board. It's a 0/3 and it blocks. So that's a good thing too. Another land. So we'll pass through. Judge of Currents. Okay, that's a good one. So what we'll do is we'll get out this Judge of Currents. And end step, we'll just tap, gain a life, whatever, go to our next turn. I'll play this. Alright, so I got some other stuff to do. We'll play Generous Stray, we'll draw a card. Gem Guard is good. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do this instead. Just kind of like passing our time, or biding our time rather. Let's cast this. Boom, 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 boom. So we go 1, 2, 3. Oops, we'll put this up here. 4, 5. Okay, so this goes to the bottom. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. So this is one of those classic 4 out of 5s. So we're gonna draw all these cards. See how good that feels? And now we have a bunch of other stuff we can do. So what we're gonna do here is we want to get down so we don't discard. So let's just cast. We have 2 mana. We'll just cast a Dust Shot Crawler and we'll put a counter on itself. Just as a, what we'll do actually, we'll reset this. We'll put it here. Make this a 2-power creature. I think that's fair. Okay, and then we untap. This goes on the bottom. So now it's turn 6. We have lots of options. Let's 7 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got an 8/8 Trampler. That's not so bad. Or do we want to set up another turn? I can't convoke anything, which is fine. But let's do this. Let's cast the Visionary. We'll draw. That's good. We'll do this. We'll cast Visionary. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast that. And I guess I'll convoke this. And then next turn, we have a huge this. We can cast this. We can cast this. So that ended up not being the worst. But like you kind of see how our velocity gets so much higher when this is in play. And hitting 4 cards off this feels really good. Let's just do another spin the wheel again, see what would happen if we cast it again. Yeah, that's not as good. But you get the idea. Alright. Let's see. Yeah. Let's look for some juice here. So we got the standard stuff. Let's see. Oh, I like Battle Screech. Let's find room for a Battle Screech. That sounds sick. More flying tokens are a lot better than they read. I want to keep as many of our convoke creatures as possible. I got the Scare Tiller. Don't hate me. Battle Screech. And let's see, so I think I already did this one, but becomes tapped. Yeah, we already did this. We did tap and untapped. That way it gives these. Yeah. Or rather, tap untapped. Yeah. Virtual Rangers, Castle Raptors. I like this. Gaze of Justice. Tap 3 untapped white creatures to exile a thing. It's pretty cool. Ranger's Hawk's interesting. Getting a little extra value by venturing into even Lost Mines. That's pretty good. Let's put a Ranger's Hawk in here. And it's a 1-mana creature. Ranger's Hawk, not gonna cut. This is where we're gonna start trimming down, making the deck a little bit leaner. thinking. Maybe like this guy. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, let's get some lands. I think we're good here. Let's get some lands. I'm not playing Prismatic Strands. We're playing the Convoke Fog. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. If you want to upgrade the deck, you know, play Prismatic Strands. All right. Anyway, land. Let's get these lands in here. So we got like the regular stuff. Arctic. It's good to play these duels because Wood Elves can get them. Play Wood Elves is insane. Arctic Tree Line. Radiant Grove, I think is the name of the other one. The other duel from Dominarium. I'm only playing a ton of tap lands. Talk about this a lot. Command Tower. Opal Palace. Study Hall. These cards here. Our commander is going to die. Study Hall and Opal Palace are going to be good. Oh, an important thing about our commander as well is that we can convoke to pay commander tax. So that's another reason why this card's really great. Don't know if we need like a ton of duels, or like a 2-color deck doesn't need a lot of help. Path of Ancestry, 1 or 2-color, gets elementals. No, I don't care. Want to keep it as untapped as possible. I like playing on curve. You all know this about me by now. I'm gonna play the green-white land that sacrifices to draw a card, Botanical Plaza. I like this card. Okay, this seems fine, and then we'll do well. Let's look at our balance here. It's 50, 47, so we'll cut 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. 3. Whatever. 47, 53, 59, yeah, that's fine. We'll cut, what do these add up those? Yeah, this is good. This is what we'll do. 34 lands. I think that's appropriate. Our curve's pretty low for the things that matter. Yeah. And now we got to change our printings too. I think this deck is kind of in the spot where I don't want to tinker with it too much more. But now we got to fix our printings. This is another important aspect of it. These don't have any. I kind of want the OG. Oh no, never mind. Therese Nielsen, we don't like her. Yeah. We'll use the Dominaria Master. Conclave Phalanx. We're going to use the... I do like the uncommon one. Yeah, we're going to do that. Deeper Dusk Shall Crawl. These ones don't. Rejuvenator has a cool anime printing from Darmstadt 2022, and I think that's the one we're going to use. It actually, like, I'm not a huge anime person, but this one looks pretty cool. Right? Elvish Visionary. I almost always go for the Conflux one. Foundations Jumpstart has a new art. What is this? What is this? How do I view card? View details. What is this? How interesting. How interesting. Well, we're not going to do it. Not going to fall for it. We're just going to go back down to our beautiful, beautiful OG Shards of Alara, Shadowmoor, Farhaven Elf. These ones have self-out printings, but the important thing is that they're not white bordered, so I'm not as married to it. In fact, I do just like OG printings of these cards. Generous Stray Guardian. These ones don't have much to work with. Cover Primarch has an original Time Spire or Future Sight printing that we're going to use. Jasper Sentinel, we're going to use the Kaldheim one. Yeah, these don't. I do like Inventors versus Elves, but not the list. Actually, it'll do Future Sight. Landor Visionary has this cool inverted one. Motion Bugler. Where's M14? Oh, that's my foil. No thanks. Just the uncommon one. Novice Inspector, Sun Guide. a lot of these are just going to be putting back to the the anatomically correct printings. There's not a lot of flair that go along with these. Let's get this one off the list. Let's just go back to the Guild of Ravnica here. Specmate, Conspiracy, Siege Worm. We're going to do the original Ravnica Carl Critchlow Siege Worm. It's a classic. Spirit Companion. Let's go back to this inverted one and a Sky Scanner. Corset 2019, please. Not Corset 2021. Corset 2019. Spring Bloom Druid. You know what? We'll leave it as a nod. We'll leave the Foundations printing, nod to Foundations. What is this list? Get that out of here. Sylvan Ranger. We're gonna just do these promos. M20, M11, Thraben Inspector. Y'all know there's only one way to go with this, right? Regional Championship Qualifier. Look at this guy. Cards cracked and beautiful. M15 Wood Elves. For those of you who don't know, there is a correct printing of Wood Elves, and it is going to be. God, there's so many times. Starter 99, white bordered, uncommon Wood Elves. Yes, please. Battle Screech, Commander Masters. I like that one. But you know what? Judgment. Boom. Leave the Stampede. I have feelings about. I don't like the Ikoria one. Let's do the Mirrodin Besieged. Sprouting Renewal. Guilds. The Uncommon Guilds printing. Winding Way. No list. Get out of here with a stupid list. And then Immune Tavern. Okay. These ones don't have much variation. We'll just put this back to Ravnica. Oh, there's a white border one. Solve that. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Serene Vitae, Three-Wood Charm, Immune Tavern. Okay, and then Springleaf Drum. No, oh, no, not the foil. What am I doing? Whirlwind. Okay, great. Command Tower. Do the Mystery Booster 2-1. Oh, it's foil? No thanks. No thanks. Bloomburrow Commander looks cool. We'll do the Sheldon Secret Lair. We'll do that one. Commander Masters. I like, as we've been over, I love the Commander Masters. Opal Palace. It's amazing. Study Hall. There's one printing. Okay, and now we just need to fix these. Let's get some Ravnica lands. Ravnica. Let's see. We want. I don't want like a Selesnya like guild kit forest. Screw that. Original Ravnica. Oh, whoops. Maybe I don't want that one. Shoot. Ravnica. Ravnica City Guilds, alright. The Anthemius Waters one. I like that. Then we'll switch to printing here too. We're coming just on another wire here. Alright, and then Anthemius Waters, I think. Yeah, just some artistic consistency between these two cards. We got a Plains, we got Forest. I think that is it. Yeah, let's call it about here. So that's some Selesnya stuff to give you a good idea of like where my head's at with this color pair. A lot of really great like small utility creatures that you can use for a lot of really cool things. I think a lot of leveraging this kind of card advantage or like virtual card advantage is finding as many ways to use these cards as possible. Like, what good is a 1/1? Like, it replaces itself, right? But the card advantage aspect of it is the 1/1 body, and how are you utilizing that? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. This deck, I think, is a great example of how exactly we do that. Pumping it into this or any of these other Convoke spells gives you a lot of tempo, gives you a lot of like virtual card advantage, it gives you a good board. And a lot of these cards are like nothing to sneeze at either. Like, they can get pretty out of hand, like creating tokens every turn, just like big beefers, or just like recasting this thing a bunch if it dies. Like, it just gets huge, and you can always pay the commander tax because it's factored in when you convoke. So You know, even something like this, like as innocuous as adaptive gem guard, just tapping two things to put a counter on it. Just utilizing your stuff. Obviously, like you don't use this as a sorcery, but you know, I think the point stands. Like these cards are really flexible, and I think this is a good kind of shell to utilize them. So that's that. We'll be back next week live. Uh, Again, a kind of evergreen for me. Not sure what we're gonna do yet, but we'll reach a decision and see y'all back here next week to build another really cool Pauper Commander deck. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.